All right, squad, so you should have one of these sheets in front of you, okay? If you don't, ask the guest teacher for one. Okay, we're going to go through together how to do our notes for today. You should write down everything that I do, okay? So first thing we need to know is we're going to review complementary and supplementary angles, okay? This should have been from 6th grade. So if I have complementary angles, do you remember how much those add up to? They add up to 90 degrees, okay? And if I have supplementary angles, okay, those should make a straight line. You can think S and S, straight, supplementary. And we already know that a straight line adds up to 180 degrees. Okay, so they're complementary. They add up to 90 every single time. However many angles you have, it could be 2, could be 3. And if you have supplementary angles, they always add up to 180. Again, it could be 2, 3, 4, 5 angles, but they have to, when you add them together in your calculator, they have to be 180. Okay, so example of complementary, they have to be 90. Well, we know, let's just start with 90 degrees. Okay, that's a 90-degree angle. You can put the box if you want to. Okay, and then I can just cut this however I want. I could split it there, I could split it there. Okay, I could split it super, super close to this line, but not quite on that line. But then I'm going to label this. So I've got, let's say, A, B, C, D. So I'm going to say angles A, B, C, and angle C, B, D. They must equal 90. And now I'm just going to make up a guess. What could they be? Well, this one's a little bit bigger, so I'm going to say this is 50 degrees. So what does this angle have to be? Well, 90 minus 50 equals 40. So we're going to say this is 40 degrees. Together, 50 plus 40 equals 90. Okay, now we're going to draw supplementary. Well, over here, my definition says it's got to be a straight line, so I'm going to start with that. Straight line, we know it's going to have to be 180 total. Okay? And again, you can cut it wherever you want. You could go straight up, you could go to the right, you could go to the left, whatever you want to do. I'm going to go this way. And again, I'm going to label some letters. This time I'm going to do P, N, O, R. Doesn't matter what they are, okay? So now, my straight line is PNR, but my two angles are PNO. So I'm going to say angle PNO and angle ONR. Again, you can go the other direction if you want to. You could say RNO, ONP. Doesn't matter. Okay, those two are supplementary. Now I'm going to give them some values. Well, this kind of angle, if it's bigger than 90, is obtuse. This is an acute angle, so this has to be more than 90. This has to be less than 90. Well, I'm going to say that this is like 150. Again, that's not 100% correct, but I'm giving it a guess. This is going to be 30 degrees. And if I check 150 plus 30, it makes 180. So we're good. So that's an example of complementary and supplementary. That will be on your Desmos today. All right. Now, it says select all the true equations. Okay, so it says x plus y is 180. Well, using your picture, and it's kind of hard to see, this one right here is z degrees. But you got x and y. Well, if I put those together, make an angle. Here's my angle. Is that 180 degrees? Well, 180 degrees should be a straight line. Did I make a straight line? No, I did not. So that one is wrong. Cross it out. All right. Then it says x plus z equals 90. Well, let's see. X, z. They're not touching, so that's kind of hard to figure out. But I know that these are equal. They're both white. So I'm going to say this is also x. This is also x. This is also x. You could also say that this one is also z. Okay. That being said, if I put them together over on this side, because these are touching, right? X and z. Is that 90 degrees? Did I make a perfect corner? Sure did. All right, so I'm going to circle this one. This one is correct. All right. What about 2x's plus 1y is 180? Okay, well, where do I have 2x's touching a y? Let me get a different color now. All right, here's 2x's. Here's a y. So I'm going to make my line. All that they're touching. Did I make a straight line? Sure did. So that means that this is also true. Okay, last two. We got 2x's plus 2z's has to be 180. Let me get a different color. Get a highlighter maybe. All right, so I've got 2x's and 2z's. All right, here's 2x's, 2z's. If I make a line, ooh, is that also a straight line? Sure is. So I can circle this one. Last one, x plus y plus z is also 180. Let me get a different color. All right, let's see. I've got an x and an x, so I don't want that. I want an x and a z and a y. Okay, those aren't touching. X, y, x, 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 z. Well, this is kind of tricky. Well, let's think about it. If I have x and y is that obtuse one, I need a small one like this to make it 180. Z is not a small one, right? Y has to touch 2 x's to be true if it's 180. But if I put z on that corner, it's not going to work because z and x are not equal. So I'm just going to use my reasoning and know that that one is not true. So your ones that are true are the second, third, and fourth. Okay, now you get to pick any of those and you're going to write a statement. How do you know it's true? Well, let's say I'm going to do x plus z equals 90 because, ooh, hold on, this is not true. Come on, Miss Grew. So I have to pick either the top one or the bottom one. So I'm going to pick the top one. I'm going to say x plus y does not equal 180 because if I look up here, x and y, they don't make a straight line. Okay, you can also, we talked about why this one didn't work. Because instead of a z, that should be what? An x. Then it would be true. So either of those statements you can put here. Okay? Last little thing we're going to talk about. Angle A is 25 degrees. A and B are complementary, which means they add up to 90. What is the measure of angle B? Okay, well, let's plug in. We know that A is 25 degrees. Do I need to do anything with C and D? Did they talk about C and D? No. So I'm not even going to talk about them. I'm not going to do anything with them. I'm just looking at these angles right here. And if they're complementary, they add up to 90. So I'm going to say, okay, 25 plus angle B equals 90. Do I know what angle B is? No. So 25 plus x equals 90. And now I'm going to solve. We know how to do this. I see addition. What am I going to do instead? Subtraction. Am I going to subtract x or am I going to subtract 25? Well, if I subtract x, I don't really have any x's over here to work with. Then I just get confused. So I'm going to just do minus 25, minus 25. These cancel out. X equals, in your calculator, what's 90 minus 25? 65 degrees. To check in your calculator, is 65 plus 25 equal to 90? Sure is. Okay? Make sure you can go back or pause the video to make sure you have all these notes before you start the Desmos. Okay? Then you can grab an extra sheet from the sub when you're ready to start Desmos. It is graded, so make sure you get all 10 slides done. You got this.